Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Emerson Annual Christmas Virtual Lottery and Knife Show, coming live from the Emerson Knife Factory out here in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. And I'd like to welcome all of you. We have probably the most lottery entries that we've ever had in any of our lotteries, anytime, any place this year. So you guys have been really enthusiastic about this. I'm very grateful. I made a lot of knives, and if you see my fingers, when I show you a couple close-ups and you see that they're still dirty, there's a reason for that. I literally ground the last knife. It's 4 o'clock. I started on that knife at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and finished it up right at about 3:30. So I didn't even have really a chance to wash up or change clothes or anything, because I guess it's the story of every knife maker. Even though you know a year in advance when a knife show's coming up, you're always still working right up to the last minute. And of course, there's always the little glitches and getting everything fitted, and oops, the stop pin has to be changed out or whatever. So, there's a lot that goes on, even though you think you've got everything in hand. But really did just finish them up. I've had some of them finished for a while. In fact, some of the knives you'll see have the old logo, if you want to call it that, the Emerson Specware logo, because I grind blades in batches, and if I'm, let's say, doing roadhouses and I do 10 roadhouse blades, it's going to take me 10 shows to get rid of the roadhouse blades that have that particular logo on them. So you're going to see the new logo on some knives, and you're going to see the old logo on some of the knives, even though I really just made them all recently. I might have ground the blades a month or two ago, but all the handles and everything I ground last week. So up until today, and then I finished out all the special auction knives, which I'm going to show you a few of those also. And what we've got this year is we have a special charity knife that we're doing for the CIA Memorial Fund, CIA Survivors Memorial Fund, because it's something that unfortunately only gets press when it's a negative story, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But the CIA is relentless and tireless, and features some of the most self-sacrificing individuals that you could ever assemble in one place at one time, that put their life on the line to keep this country safe. And we've got a special knife that I did this year. It's a Super Roadhouse, and it's done in our Ghost Gray. You can look at it online. There's pictures of it on the auction site. It's got our skull and roses engraving on it. It's the first Roadhouse we've ever done in the all gray, the Ghost Gray color. And it's on the back, it says Emerson with a Crusader's cross, and Nemo impune licet, which means no one harms me with impunity. And also it has the motto from the old CIA headquarters, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And that's from John chapter 8, verse 32. And you'll find that on the floor at the old CIA headquarters when you walk in. Anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful knife. I really want you guys to dig deep to help out with this charity auction that we're doing. This is a wonderful, unique Emerson creation, and whoever gets it can be proud to know that there's only one of these knives on the face of the earth, and it's a real beauty. I want to just say something for a moment about what I mentioned about the negative publicity that the Central Intelligence Agency gets. And right now we're going through everything in Congress with all of the outing of the harsh measures that were used for interrogation. And a lot of guys are calling that torture, and a lot of people are calling it not torture. And I happen to fall on the side of, I don't believe that was torture, and I'll tell you It really bothers me because these guys are out there, they get no glory, they get no accolades except from their fellow officers. And when they accomplish a mission or a task, we never know about it because that's the nature of their work. If they thwart an attack, we won't even know about that until 20 years from now when someone writes a book about it. So these guys really are out there, and girls, guys and girls, are sacrificing their lives and their time, and they work in extreme danger at all times because most of their stuff is done behind enemy lines. So I want to be sure that you guys understand this is a very special thing that we're doing this year, and I want you to bid high on that knife. And as far as torture and all that goes, I'll tell you this, the libs and the lefties, they're all about, well, we should treat these guys with all the respect and all of the things that you would give to a U.S. citizen who might have went over and stole a candy bar from the 7-Eleven. And quite frankly, I'll call that's bull. You can fill in the last word there, because these are bad guys and they deserve the treatment that they get. And I'll tell you, the people that are against these harsh measures, let me put it into perspective. When we have an event like a 9/11 attack, everybody's gung-ho to get out there and get the bad guys and by any means necessary, make sure that it doesn't happen again. And then as time goes by, everybody removes themselves a little bit from that event and they get a little softer, and it's like, well, we haven't heard about any other attacks or anything like that. Well, the truth is there's been a number of attacks that were imminent and that were going to happen, and they were thwarted by the efforts of the U.S. intelligence services and our soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen. Now, the thing is, when you get removed from it by time, you start to soften up, and the libs and the lefties get in positions where they start barking about all this stuff, and playing loud music and keeping somebody in an uncomfortable position. That's not torture. Torture is when you pull someone's fingernails out, or you gouge their eyes out, or you brand them with a hot branding iron. That's torture, okay? And I'll tell you, you could take any one of those lefties that right now is out there barking about how bad the CIA is and how the Americans have to apologize to the rest of the blinking world for what we did to keep ourselves safe. And I'll just ask you this, if to one of those lefties or any of those lefties or libs, if your son or daughter was taken by somebody and there was a guy sitting there in front of you that knew where your son or daughter was, and in 3 or 4 hours they were going to kill your son or daughter, I'll tell you what, you'd grab a pair of vice grips and you'd pull every fingernail out of that guy's hand to get that information. So it's all relative, and it's all scaled to how it affects you directly. So anybody who ever says they wouldn't go to grave extremes to get information to save another human's life, quite frankly, has either deluded themselves or they're lying. Because anyone, when pushed to the point, will make the decisions that they need to do to protect their loved ones, themselves, and thank God for the CIA that's out there protecting all of us and our way of life. It's a little political, but I'm really pissed off because, by God, I know how hard these guys are, how hard they work, and what they do to sacrifice to keep us safe, and it really pisses me off. And John McCain, you know what? He's not the champion of truth and justice that he portrays himself as being. And yes, he was in a POW camp in Vietnam. But I'll tell you what, because something has happened to you doesn't make you an expert on the subject. And the subjects change according to the time, place, and the severity, and the threat, and everything else that happens over time. So, enough said on that. I just want to be sure that you all understand. I'm a political guy. I don't mince any words. I don't care if people think, well, he's just a right-wing spokeshole or whatever. You know what? Maybe I am. But I'm willing to wear that banner because I'll tell you what, I'm a patriot, and I do believe that extreme danger requires extreme actions. And I'll stop now. we'll get on with what we came here to do, which is the lottery. But first, I want to show you a few things that we're going to be having come up at the SHOT Show this year, because I've got a chance, I've got you guys in front of me. One of the things that we're going to do this year is we're going to introduce a fixed blade called the Fixed Blade Government Mule, and it's a pretty decent knife. It's a medium-sized fixed blade. We'll have the first ones up at the SHOT Show this year in January. And we've got some other exciting things. Unfortunately, I can't tell you about them right now, because if we don't get them done, it would be a bummer to tell you about them and then not show up with them. But this is a badass fixed blade. Good to go. We also got another project that I've been working on probably for about a year. I don't know if, how many of you are familiar with Lieutenant Colonel David Grossman, but he's probably one of the most learned men on human action and reaction to high stress and combat situation that exists on the face of this earth. He's the author of On Killing and On Combat and several other periodicals and books and things like that. He's one of the nicest individuals I've ever met, and also one of the most respected men in his field in the world. And we're going to be doing a knife for him this year in conjunction with the Lieutenant Colonel. And I want to show you, it is the first Emerson flipper. So what we've got is a knife here that is a flipper, opens with a thumb stud, or opens with the wave. So it's a triple play knife. I believe it's the only one that ever has existed in the cutlery world. So there's 3 ways to open this knife, and we're going to be featuring that up at the SHOT Show. It'll be available from us and also through Lieutenant Colonel David Grossman's website. I think it's called Sheepdogs and Guns or something like that. You'll have to look up, just look up Lieutenant Colonel David Grossman. Just Google him up and you'll find his website out there. We're the knife that's going to be featured in his, as his signature knife. So he designed this along with me, and it's a really nice little knife. You guys are going to love it. And again, it's the first Emerson flipper. Great utility knife designed for police and military. One more I'm going to show you, and this is a real rough one, but it's all I have at the moment. It's called the Iron Dragon. And it's going to be an HD knife that we're building right now. We've got raw parts, and I threw these together just to show you so you could kind of see the shape of the knife. But we'll have this one up at the SHOT Show also. Now, why the name Iron Dragon? Well, a couple of reasons. My first instructor fighting instructor was a gentleman named Richard Bustillo. And Richard was a first-generation student of Bruce Lee, along with Dan Inosanto. And, you know, Bruce Lee was the little dragon, and they gave a nickname to Richard called the Iron Dragon. And he kind of took me under his wing, and I got, I guess you'd call it special treatment from him while I was training there. We took a liking to each other, and we're still very good friends and do a lot of stuff together. So we're naming this knife the Iron Dragon in honor of Sir Richard Bustillo, who was one of my first instructors and probably one of the top fighting instructors that exists in the world. He's known all over the world. Also, I was awarded the induction into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame in 2012 as the Iron Dragon, which is Richard's, they pass that award on each year to inductees to the Martial Arts Hall of Fame. And it's the Iron Dragon Award, and I happen to also be the Iron Dragon. So there's a couple reasons why we came up with this knife, but it's going to be a really nice, really hardcore fighting knife. You guys are going to love it. All right, just a couple more things before we get going, because we've got our auction going on, and I'm just going to give you a little preview. Danny, I'm going to bring this in real close. maybe they can see the details on the CQC 45 with Mokotai bolsters and a Damascus blade. Also have a royal bronze bolstered Emerson Tonto. Beautiful, beautiful knife with a black blade and checkered handle. Oh yes, the Ghost Gray 6. First and only gray CQC 6. And I do all the coding myself, so I can tell you this is the first one that I've ever done. And it really is a pretty stunning little piece. It'll be a very unique knife for whoever gets this one. Also, a Zealot with a Mokotai bolster. And it's tough to see in this light, but it's got a Mokotai bolster, black checkered handle, and a Damascus blade. And of course we have a full dress Roadhouse Pearl. Pretty knife. I'm not going to waste any more time showing you these. I have a whole bunch of them. You can go to the website and see them because the lighting isn't too good in here. But I will pick this one up. It's a black Commander with a Damascus blade. Again, somebody's going to be real lucky who picks this puppy up. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. So, without further ado, and thank you for listening to my my opening statements, we will move on to the lottery. So I'd like to have Aaron come on out and Lucas come on up. We're going to draw the names out, and we're going to draw a knife name. For those of you who haven't been members of or participated in the lottery in the past, what we do to make it a blind drawing is we draw someone's name out of the bag, and then we draw a knife name out of the bag. And that knife name corresponds to one of the knives that I've got here. I think I have 44 knives here. I've got 2 CQC 5s and 2 CQC 6s, so there's going to be at least 4 people that get those. Those are like some of the top knives that I make as far as customs, so there's going to be 4 people that will get one of those. And we're going to start drawing right now. So again, I've got a great selection. Want to just say Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy New Year, and thank you all for being part of this. Really appreciate it. Okay. Excuse me, Lucas. Go ahead and draw a name out, Lucas, and we'll call it out. And then I'll pass it over to you, Aaron, and then we'll draw the knife name out. All right, the first one drawn is Chad Aquino, A-Q-U-I-N-O. Chad is the first name drawn, and the first knife, and the knife that Chad will get, is CQC 10, the CQC 10. And what I'll do is I'll just take each of these that we've picked, and I'll fold the blade so we know that that knife is no longer available. And I forgot to mention one thing. The table prices for all of the standard size knives are $700, and then it goes up, for a super knife or an Uber knife like a Roadhouse Beast or the Uber Commander and things like that. So they start out at $700, and the bigger, if you call them the super models and the Uber models and the Beast models and all that, they go up in price accordingly. So, Lucas, have you picked another name? All right. Second one is Stephanie Rowe, R-O-W-E. Aaron. And let's see what knife Stephanie has gotten. And lo and behold, Stephanie got a CQC 6. First one off the table, second one drawn. Congratulations. All right, Lucas. Ryan Resnick. Ryan Resnick. And the knife that we get for Ryan is the Conjurer. That's the knife my son Lucas has designed. And it's a fine, fine little knife. So he's gotten the Conjurer. I hope you guys notice that every year that we've done the lottery, my son Lucas has been the person who draws the knives out or draws the names out of the hat. And in the past, Lucas has been about this high, this high, this high, and now we're in like the 4th or 5th year, and he's pretty much as tall as I am. So if you look back in time, you'll see that there's been a lot of growth on his part. Yes, Kane Tierney. Kane Tierney. A lot of you guys know Kane. He's actually been part of the Emerson family for quite a while now. And Kane Tierney is drawn for the Persian. Kane gets the Persian. Okay, next name is Christopher Osborne. Christopher Osborne. Christopher, what do we have for you? CQC 5. Christopher gets a CQC 5. We should get a laughter or a clapping back track for the lottery.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Okay, Lucas. Next one. James Barnard, B-A-R-N-A-R-D. James Barnard. What does James get? James gets the Bulldog. Fast becoming one of our most popular knives. Where is that Bulldog at? Right here. And be sure to check out our website and all that. I think have we done the Big Bulldog and had that out there yet? Or is that coming up? The Big Bulldogs have gone out, haven't they?
Yeah. The batch already went out.
Great knife, and like I said when I first designed it, that the name kind of popped out because it was a darn strong, tough little knife. And I just thought Bulldog would be an appropriate name for it. Mark Wong. Mark Wong. And Mark gets the Journeyman. The Journeyman knife. Let's find that Journeyman. Where are you? Right here. Okay. Mark Wong, congratulations on the Journeyman. Okay. Leanne Sardiga. Leanne Sardiga. And Leanne, the knife that we have here is a CQC 5. Once again, CQC 5. Adam Kim. Adam Kim. Let's pull something out for Adam. ETAC B. The ETAC B. One of my favorite knives, and I'm telling you, it is a deceptive knife. It does not look comfortable when it's sitting on the table, but when you pick it up and put it in your hand, it's comfortable any way that you pick it up. Beautiful, beautiful knife. I'm very proud of that knife right there. Matthew McDonald. Matthew McDonald. What do we got? Isaac Marood. Isaac Marood. Kind of an arrowhead shaped blade. Okay. Sebastian Guinard. Sebastian Guinard. Sebastian. What do I have in my hands? Commander. All-time favorite of a lot of people. Commander. Ramey McCreary. Ramey McCreary. What do we got here? CQC 13. CQC 13. Another one of my favorite knives. I mean, it's tough to say which one I like the best. It's like your children, you know, you love every single one of them with all your heart. But the CQC 13 has just got a look and a feel that I have absolutely loved. I carried a 13 for a long, long time. It's just super comfortable in the hand, very secure grip. You got a good knife there. Okay, here we go. Eric Ditchfield. Eric Ditchfield. Let's pick one for Eric. CQC 45. CQC 45. Where are you hiding? Where's that 45 at, Lucas? Right here. Another really good design. I mean, it sounds like I'm just blowing smoke, but again, when I designed it to be a matched set with the 1911 gun that I spec'd out to Les Baer, I thought I nailed it. It's got just the right amount of curves and just the right amount of straight lines that it just fit with that gun perfectly. And again, a very, very strong, powerful design. You know, sometimes you think, okay, it's just a knife. What the hell is he talking about? A powerful design or whatever. But I always tell this story when I'm teaching classes. And I always say, look, does a custom grip on a gun that's fit to my hand, that's custom made for my hand, make me shoot better? And I always, you know, kind of further that conversation and go, you know, I don't know. I mean, does it? Who knows? But the point is, if it makes me think that I'm shooting better, then I will be shooting better. So there's a huge part of a psychological advantage that you get from confidence born out through something that you have in a design and something that you pick up. When you pick up a hammer or an axe or any kind of weapon, you can tell if it's made for you. You can tell how it feels. You can tell if it's balanced. You can tell what it's imbued with. Did that guy know what he was doing when he designed that article, whatever it was? It's the same thing when you look at a fighter jet or a Lamborghini. They look fast even when they're sitting still. And when I say that, you know, the knife has power, I'm not talking about some esoteric mumbo jumbo Twilight Zone stuff. I'm talking about a powerful design, something that gives you the feeling that you've got power when you've got it in your hand, or that it fits you, or that was made for you. And you know, I've been pretty good at being able to nail that on a lot of the knives that I make. The term Emerson ergonomics is not a joke. People actually use that to describe things that have nothing to do with Emerson. Other tactical gear. You know, I've heard the term, you know, it's got Emerson ergonomics. So what I'm saying here is that when I say it's got power and all that, they do, and you can feel it. And when you pick some of these knives up, you just feel this is a strong fucking knife, man. I'm telling you, I like it. It feels like it was made for me. And if I can conjure that up in your mind, then that is the ultimate compliment that could ever be paid to me as a designer. Because I don't think I just design knives, I design things. They just happen to be knives. So anyway, Ron Bokangle, Bokangel. We'll write it up and we'll give it to you. I'm having trouble reading whatever is on that thing because I don't know what that says. Talk lower, okay, all right. Maybe I should talk less too, who knows? Okay, Lucas. Oh, I didn't pick a knife out, did I? The El Bandito. El Bandito. Danny, if I'm coming across too strong, maybe you can turn down the...
Jab in your neck.
How about if I just let it hang like that? Is that better? Okay. Whose name did I just pick?
Juan Bokingo.
And he got the El Bandito? Yes, that was the El Bandito. And here's the El Bandito, designed by my son-in-law, Randy. A very nice design, sleek. When I say fast, like a Lamborghini, this has that kind of look to it. Don Deckert, number 14 on the Emerson Collectors Association. Don, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you're watching. Don has probably been, you know, you as an artist, if you will, and I don't think of myself as an artist because none of my stuff's hanging in the Louvre. Although it has been in the Smithsonian and the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which I guess that's makes me an artist. I don't know. I'm in there with a lot of other great artists. But every artist needs a patron. Someone who supports their work, who has become enamored with what that person does to the point where they buy the things that that person produces. And I have to say that Don is probably, for me, has been one of those kind of patrons because Don's been there and has probably one of the finest Emerson collections of knives that exist. And Don, I want to thank you for that. I don't get a chance to see you very often, but I want to tell you right now, thank you very much for being that kind of supporter of Ernest Emerson and Emerson Knives over the years. Let me see what I can pick out here for you, Don. The Roadhouse Beast. Oh, Don. The Roadhouse Beast. There it is in all its glory. Thanks again, Don. Merry Christmas. Kay Nelson. Kay Nelson. The Hatin. The Hatin. Where is the Hatin? Right here. Another very strong design. I've talked about this recently. The scimitar blade. I'm enamored with it. I like the Persian-esque look of the scimitar. This definitely has that feel to it. It's a super strong design. It's a big knife, but it does not feel big in your hand. And again, with that cutting curve that is featured on a scimitar, that's one of the reasons it was such a formidable weapon, was because of the curve. Because as the blade is introduced along an arc, there's new edge being introduced into whatever it was cutting all the way up to the point, when it sweeps through. So again, an iconic blade design, weapon design, and just so you know, I mean I guess maybe you do know I'm a weapons kind of a historian, I guess, and the thing about weapons is the ones that we know about and the ones that we see and the ones that have lasted through the centuries and were used in real battles. There's a reason for that. It's because they worked. Because if someone came up with a design that didn't work, it died and was left on the battlefield. Like the Japanese sword and all its variations. The American Bowie knife, a perfect example of that. God bless you. The Persian type of blades. Those things have lasted for centuries and centuries and were proven time and time again in actual hand-to-hand combat. James Miller, another early one, 697. James has been with us for a while. ETAC-A. The ETAC-A is the same ETAC knife handle with an A blade, which is kind of a Bowie-esque type style. Really a good knife, ETAC-A. Mark Strauss. Mark Strauss, another familiar name. How you doing, Mark? Let's see what I can pick out. The Panzer. Very nice knife. Good, straightforward design. Another one. This is like old home week here. Chris Schluter. And if I'm correct, I think Chris was one of the original members of the USN. Actually, one of the founding fathers of the USN, I believe. Chris, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. Let's see what I can pull out of the goodie bag for Chris. The Super Roadhouse. Nice knife. Hope you enjoy it, Chris. Okay, who we got here? Brian Tom. Brian Tom. Government Mule A. Government Mule A, right here. Workhorse knife. Great utility knife, great tactical knife. Do pretty good in the fight, too. Andrew Harbushka. Andrew was in one of my classes, actually. I rolled around on the ground with him for a while, and he's a tough guy. Andrew went to our class, and then a couple months after the class was actually attacked by a knife-wielding opponent, and he lived to tell the tale. And I don't know if I had anything in helping him get through that situation. It was a spontaneous attack. He came out of nowhere, but he took a few shots from I believe from a knife, and he's still around to talk about it. Not many people can make that statement. So Andrew, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. I will see you again. Maybe we can roll around on the ground again sometime in the future. CQC 15 for Andrew. CQC 15 right here. Okay, Lucas. Roy Humanick. Roy Humanick. That goes all the way back. He's number 319. Roy's been around with us for a while too. Let's find out what we got. The mini CQC 15. You know, on one of the forums, somebody made the statement just the other day, and I thought, damn, you know, there's things that people say about me or my knives or things, and there's a lot of nice compliments in that, and I really, truly appreciate it because, you know, I really do work very hard at producing these and trying to keep sharp, if you will, and designing and all that. And someone made the comment on one of the forums, I think it was on Blade Forums, that Emersons are like a Glock. And I'll tell you what, that's another one of those supreme compliments, because I was a 1911 guy for years and years, and I still am. I appreciate the mechanics of John Browning's design, and I love just the way that 1911 functions. But I'll tell you, the first time I ever picked up a Glock, it changed my life. And the way that I can describe it, like so many other people can, is that that Glock felt like it was made for me. And when I picked it up, it fit my hand perfect. And I'm not a big guy, I don't have big hands or anything. There's guns that just don't seem to fit me. They're great guns, they're battle proven and tested, and they can last for years and years. But they just didn't feel right for me. And I'll tell you, I picked up that Glock and I was like, damn, Gaston Glock must have come to my house and in the dream and asked me what kind of gun I wanted, because he nailed it. And so when someone made that compliment about my knives, the Emerson knives are like the Glock, that was a real fine compliment. I can't remember who said it, but I want to pass on my thanks for that. That's a huge compliment to me. Lucien Chen. Lucien Chen. What do we have? The Gentleman Jim. The Gentleman Jim. Where is the Gentleman Jim? Right here. Named after Gentleman Jim Corbett. Bare knuckle boxing heavyweight champion of the world. Had a college education, and like I said, on stuff that I've talked about, he was an educated man who carried a good right cross. Aaron Knox. Aaron Knox. The Gypsy Jack. Cool knife. The Gypsy Jack. Douglas Scott, SCOTTP, number 230. He goes back with us. Combat Systems Fighter. Combat Systems Fighter. Where are you? Combat Systems Fighter, right here. A knife near and dear to my heart. It's the official knife of the Emerson Combat System. Scott Kilgore. Scott Kilgore. What do we have here for Scott? The Zealot. Scott Kilgore and the Zealot. Again, cool knife, slick in the hand, fast, great ergonomics. Good place for delicate work if you're actually doing a little caping or something with it. But a great choil so that your hands don't slip forward on it. Excellent, excellent knife. Ronald Ryer. Ronald Ryer. What's in this bag for Ronald? The Mini Roadhouse for Ronald Ryer. Mini Roadhouse right here. Okie doke. Mitchell Harguindeguy. Harguindeguy. Mitchell Harguindeguy. What do we have here? The Soiree. Where is the Soiree? Right here. All curves on this puppy. Cool, cool knife. Wait till you pick it up. You'll know what I'm talking about. Gerald Powers. Gerald Powers. The Tonto. The Emerson Tonto. Here it is. Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill. What's in the bag, Casey? The Uber Commander. Uber Commander. For Casey. Evans Pang. Evans, I hope you're watching. Merry Christmas to you, man. Another one of our old friends. What is in here for Evan? The Tiger. Cool, cool knife. Super popular. Thank you, Evan. Andy Sizemore. Andy Sizemore. Andy, the Mach 1. Another one of my favorite designs. Where is the Mach 1 located? Where is the Mach 1? Where are you? Where is my Mach 1? Okay, it's here somewhere. We'll find it. The Mach 1. Jubal Gimbal. Jubal Gimbal. And Jubal gets the Mini CQC8. Mini CQC8 for Jubal. Next one. Jeff Surratt Standerfer. The Half-Mate. There's a story behind that knife. You'll have to read the Stumbling Jack story for that, though. You can find it on our website. In fact, Stumbling Jack's actually going to have his own website coming up pretty soon, where there'll be more and more stuff. James Whitewood. James Whitewood. CQC8 for James. Benjamin Dorn. Another old timer with the Emerson Collectors Association, number 374. Benjamin, how are you? The Roadhouse. There she is. Badass knife. Let's just say that. Stephen Lau. Stephen Lau. Stephen Lau. Super A100. Zebulon Pettis. Zebulon Pettis. CQC 12. Where's the CQC 12? Right here. Pattern death in the AK-47 bayonet. Okay, Lucas. Thank you, Lucas. There's the Mach 1. If it was a snake, it would have jumped up and bit us. I knew it was there somewhere. Thank you, Lucas. Appreciate that. Rich Ulmer. Rich Ulmer. CQC 7. CQC 7. Right here. There's still a 6 left on the table. Andrew Hakes. Andrew Hakes. A100. The first Emerson tactical knife design. The A100. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4 knives left. Joseph Higham. Joseph Higham. And what is in here? The Super Commander for Joseph Higham. Okay, Lucas, we've only got 2 more to draw after this. Okay. Marion Crombie. Marion Crombie. Hello, John. CQC 6 for Marion Crombie. Jason Katzman, another one of our good friends, Jason Katzman. What do we have for Jason? Merry Christmas, Jason. Mini CQC 7 for Jason. Last one. Cindy Blair. Cindy Blair. And that knife, I don't really even have to pull out a ticket, but it is the Government Mule B. A nice, nice knife. Well, there you have it, folks. The Emerson Lottery for 2014. And wait a minute. I hear something. Are those bells? Are those jingle bells? Well, I'll be darned. What has Santa got in his bag that he hasn't pulled out yet? Well, there's something in here. And could I ask you to get those tickets that we've given out with the names on it? I need to have those back. Please. What I have here in Santa's goodie bag is a handmade, hand-ground Emerson prototype knife called the Vindicator. This is a knife that we introduced at the Blade Show this year, and I've been saving a couple of the prototypes. I've got one here, and what we're going to do is, as a Christmas present from Emerson Knives and the Emerson Knife family and all the people, when I say Emerson Knives family, I don't just mean people that have the name Emerson as a last name. I mean all of our employees and everybody that works here. We all owe everything to you guys, our customers and fans of Emerson Knives. So as our Christmas present to somebody in that Emerson Collectors Association, this is a handmade prototype, hand ground, start to finish Emerson knife. Someone's going to get this one for a Christmas present. So Lucas, will you reach down into that bag and pull out another name? Oh, let's put all these back in. Shake them up. And it's a nice design too, so you're getting a good knife besides, and it's marked prototype and everything else, so. All right, pick out a lucky one. Here we go. Bob Minkeheim, Minekheim. Bob, Merry Christmas to you from Emerson Knives, from Ernest Emerson, from Mary Emerson, from Lucas, Rachel and Megan Emerson, and all the others here at Emerson Knives. We want to thank all of you. Please have a Merry Christmas. Have a safe holiday season. Happy New Year to you all. And I hope to see you all at some point in person. I am cutting back on the number of shows that I'm doing over the next few years, so it's going to be a little bit harder for me to get out and meet everyone. But I hope you all make an effort to come and visit us sometime. I'd love to shake your hands and put a face to a name. Like I said, everything that we have here is because of all of you, and we really thank you all. And just wish you the best for holiday season, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you for being part of 2014 Emerson Lottery. Thank you. Aaron, thanks. Aaron, Lucas, Ernesto is in the background. Danny, come up here. Come up here, Danny. And then there's Megan and Mary. They're camera shy, so they're not coming out. So thank you all. Bye-bye.